Let us pray. Almighty God, we beseech you to behold with your abundant favor and blessings as your servants whom you have been pleased to call to leadership positions in this republic. We seek guidance to treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our country and of those whose interest you have committed to our charge. Amen. I would like to acknowledge the presence in the public gallery this afternoon of visiting students, pupils and teachers from Chebarema Primary School. That is my ward, Chemosot ward. It's our usual tradition to receive and welcome you this afternoon. And I would like to officially welcome you today in this assembly. It is a house of rules and procedures. And as you learn, as part of your learning activity and learning part of your sessions in school, we would like to welcome you today to attend this session and to be able to also learn what happens in the county assemblies, just the same as what happens in the National Assembly. And I don't know if we have our chair for education today. If not, we have the vice chair. I'd like to give you a minute to also welcome the students who are visiting today. Welcome, Honorable Matthew.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to extend welcoming remarks to pupils from Chebarema Primary School in Chemosot Ward, who happens also to be my neighbors in Chamji. I want to extend this this welcoming to the pupils and the teachers, that you are highly welcome to this honorable house, so that you can get time and chance also to learn. I think you are among many visiting schools that have come to this honorable house to learn, but you are very lucky today that your honorable member from Chemosot, she is the one chairing this session, meaning that you will be going home with a report that your honorable member she is representing the good people of Chemosot. Madam Speaker, I want only just to inform the students and the peoples from Chebarema that this is a house of rules and procedures, but during your studies, I know that you will get time to interrogate and to learn what are the procedures in this honorable house. How many assemblies do we have in this country? One, we have county assemblies where you are being represented by the member of county assembly. And also we have the national assembly where you are being represented by the member of the National Assembly, that is member of parliament. And we have also the Senate that we are being represented in terms of Kericho County by Honorable Member Aaron Jeruyot. So meaning that you will get time to interact with us, especially the Committee on Education, when we wind up this session, so that we learn a lot and know what are the procedures in this honorable house. Madam Speaker, let me take this opportunity to say welcome and feel free to learn. Thank you so much. Okay, Korir Matthew, Vice Chair Education, MCA, a member of County Assembly from Chai Ward. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Honorable Matthew, for that comment. We'll move to the next.
Order number 3, messages.
Next.
Order number 4, petitions.
Next.
Order number 5, papers.
Next.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Next.
Order number 7, statements.
Okay. We have several statements today, and we'll start with the statement on Lands Committee. Honorable Philip Mutai.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. Let me first start by welcoming the pupils from Cheparema Primary School. I tell them welcome, and I wish you well in your studies back in school. Pursuant to Section 9 of the County Government Act 2012 and Kericho County Assembly Standing Order number 48, subsection 1, I wish to seek a statement from the Committee on Lands, Housing, and Physical Planning on the following issues. Number 1, the number of cooperative societies plots in Kericho County. 2, the location of the said plots in Kericho County. 3, are the said plots still available for the cooperative society? Thank you, Mr. Speaker, Madam Speaker.
Thank you so much, Honorable Philip. We would like to call upon the chair for lands to give us the timeline or the period that we'll be able to get the response on the statement. Do we have Chair Lands with us? Vice Chair? A member of the committee? Welcome, Honorable Eric.
Thank you, Honorable Madam Speaker, for giving me an opportunity just to respond on behalf of Chair Lance on the statement that has been raised. We request 3 weeks to respond to the statement. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Eric. I think that is in order. The committee learns to work on that and give us the response in 3 weeks' time. Thank you. We'll move to the second statement, which is on trade by Honorable Philip Mutai.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I have a statement, second statement. Pursuant to Section 9 of the County Government Act 2012 and Kericho County Assembly Standing Order number 48, Section 1, I wish to seek a statement from the Committee on Trade and Internationalization on the following issues. 1, the status of the market stalls funded by World Bank in Kericho Town. 2, what criteria is the Department on Trade using to allocate the said stalls? 3, what is the procedure for acquiring the market stalls for use by the public? Madam Speaker, I am stressing this one because there is an urgency raising this statement because there is a lot of discomfort within the markets. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Philip. Do we have Chair Trade to respond to the statement that has just been raised by Honorable Philip, and also the urgency of the said matter that is mentioned, that is stressing on that? because there's an ongoing construction and completion of the same market, and there's confusion. So, Chairman Trade, kindly give us your timeline. How soon can we get the report on that statement raised? Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I seek to request for 3 weeks to respond to the statement that has been tabled by the Honorable Member. 3 weeks. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable, thank you, Honorable Martin. Honorable Philip, you're looking at me. Okay, go ahead.
Madam Speaker, I think with the statement that I had raised, I'd say there is a lot of discomfort within the marketplaces on the same. So 3 weeks is quite a long time. So with your guidance, I'm requesting the committee 7 days.
All right, go ahead. We'll go fast. Go fast.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm a member of the Trade Committee, and I stand with the chairman because, one, we will need some time to even get to see the prayers that the member has made. So 7 days, remember, today or tomorrow we're traveling to Nakuru. When we come back, we'll not have that time to. So 3 weeks is sufficient because we'll have time after bonding to be able to address the matter. Madam Speaker, I wish that you rule in favor of our chairman. Thank you.
Thank you. Kapsusir, what, you have something to add on that before we close on that issue of timeline?
Thank you, Honorable Madam Speaker. I don't think it is in order for a member to raise a statement and give condition on the timeline. So, as per the request through the chair, that is why you give an opportunity, the chair, to respond that he needs time. And he needs also a report which has enough explanation. So, with the condition that the member is raising, I don't think it is in order. Thank you.
Thank you. We need to close this. Honorable Matthew.
Okay, Madam Speaker, I think according to the request from Honorable Philip, I think it is in order that so that we reduce the tension in that market. If you go to that market, Madam Speaker, you learn that this is a matter that needs a lot of attention and a lot of urgency. In fact, I can even request the chairman trade because you are the area member representing that area also. You need to be visiting those people to learn what they are going through. So your members are eagerly waiting that you will be given 3 weeks. But I think, one, the urgency of the matter, Madam Speaker, needs even attention of 1 day. It is only that I have learned from Honorable Member from Sigawe that we need bonding so that they can deliver a report to this county assembly. Kindly, Madam Speaker, let the member be clear. We don't need a bonding so that we can get a statement that is raised by the Honorable Member. Thank you, Mr.
Your final word, Chair, Trade.
Thank you, Honorable Madam Speaker. As I had requested earlier, Madam Speaker, I still request that I'm given 3 weeks. It's sufficient, Madam Speaker, given the commitments that we have ahead of us, and also the the commitment that the committee have that is before us. So I wanted to respond to what Mheshimiwa Matthew said. I've visited the market and I've assessed the situation. So 3 weeks, Madam Speaker, sufficient for us. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, honorable members, for putting in some inputs on this. So allow me to rule out this way. Looking at the weight of this matter, we have a request of 7 days and a request of 21 days. I would like us to set a balance and give you 2 weeks to come up with a report. If there'll be need for an extension, you will come back to this house and request for an extension. Thank you. I will go to the third statement, that is on health. Honorable Vincent Korir. Honorable Fancy, all right.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this chance. I'm reading the statement on behalf of Member of County Assembly, Londiani, Vincent Korir. Madam Speaker, pursuant to Section 9 of the County Government Act 2012, Kericho County Assembly Standing Order number 48, subsection 1, I wish to seek a statement from the Committee on Health Services on the following issue. Number 1, how much money is reimbursed to the county government as claimed from NHIF? 2, what is the percentage of the budget to the NHIF and Linda Mama rebates constitute? 3, what is the frequency and time of duration for applying the claims and the payback from the NHIF and Linda Mama rebates? 4, who are the intended beneficiary of Linda Mama program? 5, how are the claims utilized and how is it being synchronized to the main budget of the county? 6, what is the basis for the costing of medical services for county hospital in Kericho County? Who sets the cost of pharmaceutical and non-pharmaceutical as well as service rendered to patients in our facilities? Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you so much, Honorable Fancy. We'll give this, we'll call upon the Chairman for Health to respond and give us the timeline that we'll be able to get the report on that statement. Welcome.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for an opportunity once again. I also rise to give my statement on the said statement. I think, Madam Speaker, honorable members are raising very the same statement every time, because at hand right now I have a status report concerning Linda Mama. So I want to believe that whoever gave an opportunity for the statement should scrutinize first before we table in this house, because we are repeating ourselves. Because one, we have a statement by Honorable Peter K. Moy, whereby he was asking on the same concerning Linda Mama initiative, which of course with me here is a status report. So I don't know whether we spend first of all the issue at hand before we give another chance for another statement, because it's like we are putting on a repetition on the very statements. So kindly give us guideline on the same, so that we should not repeat ourselves. As to me, I have a status report, and reading on the statement raised concerning NHIF insurance. We've sat to the committee, and we've written to the Department of Health, CEC and CO. And actually, Madam Speaker, looking on my report here, those are things which have been touched concerning NHIF. So I don't know how you are going to put, before I respond, it is your Al-Qaeda now to allow me, first of all, to dispel the one on hand so that it will capture entirely on what has been raised right now. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Eric B. With the consultation of the said of the concern that there was another statement raised, the report from the table office is that from this statement that we have currently, the question that could be a repetition here is number 4. That is, who are the intended beneficiaries of Linda Mama. But the rest of the issues raised have not been repeated. So we would still request that you proceed with response of the rest once you've given your statement or your feedback to the house business, so that you can bring your report. In the meantime, let's work on the rest of the questions except the number 4, which is a repetition from the previous statement.
Thank you for your directive, Madam Speaker. But still, with the consultation from the department on the research department, I'll still have to merge the same during the reporting of this house, so that we cannot, we can bring the same in the next 2 weeks, Madam Speaker. I'll bring both the first statement and the second statement in one category, Madam Speaker, because if we see the insurance, all these are insurance covers, which are covering the patients in our hospitals. So I want to believe that when I'll bring the report, I can measure the same, both statement number 1 and number 2, to avoid repetition. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Eric B. That is in order. We'll look forward to getting that report in 2 weeks' time. Thank you. We'll move to the next statement that is on Kazi Mtaani by Honorable Matthew Korir.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity also to raise a statement on Kazi Mtaani. Madam Speaker, pursuant to Section 9 of the County Government Act 2012 and Kericho County Assembly Standing Orders number 48, Section 1, I wish to seek a statement from the Committee on Lands, Fiscal Planning, Housing and Settlement on the following issues. Issue number 1, Madam Speaker, is that what is the status of Kazi Mtaani project implemented by Kericho County through Litain and Kericho Municipal Board? How many people were recruited under Kazi Mtaani project by municipalities? How did the county government arrive to a supplier of the said Kazi Mtaani project? Was there an agreement signed between the contractor managing the said project and the county government? What was the contract sum of the Kazi Mtaani project, and was that our terms? And what was the terms and mode of payment in the 2 municipalities? What was the additional scope of work done by the contractor of Kazi Mtaani vis-a-vis the contract executed by the Department of Environment in Zone 1 and 2, that is Kericho Town and Brook, Zone 3 and 4, Nyagacho and Mujini, Zone 5, that is in Kapsusel, and Zone 17 and 18, Litain Town and Kapkatet. What are the pending payments for the Kazi Mtaani projects in the two municipalities. Madam Speaker, you learned that a number of youths who are engaged in this Kazi Mtaani, Madam Speaker, have not been paid. So I'm raising this statement to allow the Department of Lands or the municipality so that the issue payment for these young people can be expedited so that we solve these issues once and for all, Madam Speaker. So, Madam Speaker, this is the statement that I wish that the department or the Committee on Lands would act with a speed, I think, of 180 kilometers per hour to deliver so that we will allow to know the young people of this county benefit on this. Because during our supplementary budget, we consider budgeting for these young people. So, Madam Speaker, I wish that this statement can be handled with an emergency from the department.
Thank you so much, Honorable Matthew. I think we'll do the same thing to hear from Chair Lands, Honorable Ezron, Vice Chair Lands, to respond and give us a timeline. Member, Lands Committee, Honorable Vincent. And keep in mind that there is also a concern on timeline.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika. Mimi ni mmoja wao wa kamati wa ardhi, na jambo la Kazi ya Mtaani lilikuwa wazo mzuri kutoka kwa gavana wetu, na tunaomba tu wiki mbili alafu tutaleta ripoti yetu.
Thank you. So in 2 weeks' time, we will have, you have something, Honorable Matthew?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I hope the 2 weeks requested by Honorable Member will be very, I think, sufficient for them to give us watertight report on the same. And I know that since that they are members in the committee, you have the blessing of the chair and the vice chair because they are missing. Hope they will sit in that committee. Thank you so much, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Thank you. We wish you well as you work on that report in 2 weeks' time. I think we'll move to the last one. We have a response on a report, on a statement, sorry, that was raised by Honorable Fancy on the status of county fire engines, that is Committee on Labor. Welcome, Honorable Gabriela.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to give a report on the statement that was raised by Honorable Fancy Korir on the status of county fire engines. Maybe I'll just repeat the statement that was raised by Fancy Korir. On 9th November 2022, Honorable Fancy Korir raised a statement on the floor of the House that was directed to our department, the Department of Public Service Management. The request for statement read as follows. Pursuant to Section 9 of the County Government Act 2012 and Kericho County Assembly Standing Orders number 48-1, wish to seek a statement from the Committee on Governance, Labor and Social Welfare on the following issues. Number 1, the number of fire engines in Kericho County. Number 2, the status of the said engines. And the last one is, do we have trained personnel and fire response team? I think I'll just go to the challenges facing the firefighting section. Our committee established the following challenges facing the firefighting section. That is on page 6. With 3.0, response to the statement by the Department of Public Service Management. On 18th November 2022, the committee received a response from the County Public Service Management as forwarded by the County Executive Committee member in charge of Public Service Management. On 13th April 2023, members went on a fact-finding mission at the fire station and established that the county has 2 functional fire engines, one with motor vehicle registration 35 CG 040A, with capacity of 10,000 liters of water, and another one registration number KAW798Z that belonged to the defunct local authorities, procured 18 years ago with a capacity of 300 liters of water. One fire engine machine registered as 35 CG 052A was procured by municipal board. However, it is not functional. What is the status of the fire engines? The fire engines are in good condition as stated in the inspection report herein attached. It's at the back of our report. Do we have trained personnel and fire response team? Total number of staff working in the fire section of Public Service Management are 12 staff and 1 driver. Then we go to the challenges in the firefighting section. The first challenge is that the fire engines uses a lot of fuel, hence the cost of operations is high and needs adequate appropriation for adequate resources. The staff have not been adequately trained and few in number to handle disasters in the county. The third one is that the facilitation of the staff in terms of risk allowances is wanting, hence the morale is low. The fourth one is the firefighting gear and equipment should at all times be available in adequate quantities. For instance, foam should be restocked. The last one is that the firefighting infrastructure should be developed adequately, such as water and hydrant points, and are not adequate. Then, Madam Speaker, allow me to go to the committee observations. The Committee on Governance, Labor and Social Welfare, having considered the response by the County Executive Member of Public Service Management, made the following observations. The first one is that the Kericho County, we only have 3 points of water hydrant next to Kericho Highland Primary, next to the public toilet at Hulu Garden, and one near the County Commissioner's offices. There is a fire engine which is not functional that was procured by Kericho Municipal Board. The fire engines are not properly maintained. The machines take about 8 minutes to fill pressure to the truck before attending to an emergency, which is perceived taking longer in case there is a fire emergency. The cost of the fuel is high, hence more funding is required. And the last one, Madam Speaker, is that the fire engine machine approximately costs shillings 1.1 million for maintenance and is only done in one place, that's Kisumu. Allow me go to the committee recommendations. The Committee on Governance, Labor and Social Welfare recommends as follows. The first one, Madam Speaker, is that the Department of Public Service Management budget in the subsequent financial years for development of firefighting infrastructure, such as developing additional water hydrant points and have all required gear, including water, foam, and any other required during the disaster responses. The second, Madam Speaker, is that the County Executive Committee member for Public Service Management should ensure more fighting engines are procured, well maintained, and drivers are stationed at the strategic points such as the county headquarters. Madam Speaker, the third one is that each sub-county should have a firefighting machine stationed at the sub-county headquarters. The fourth one is more funding to be allocated to the Public Service Management Department. Madam Speaker, the fifth one is that the Public Service Management Department should employ more firefighting personnel and conduct training, including refresher courses for the personnel handling fire and other disasters. The last one but not least, Madam Speaker, for the cases of maintenance, tires are key component and good quality should at all times be in good condition, hence procurement should be deliberate. Madam Speaker, the committee would like to thank the Office of the Speaker, Office of the Clerk for the support it accorded to during the execution of its mandate. Allow me to take this opportunity to thank all members of my committee for their valuable input during the consideration of the statement raised by Honorable Fancy. The committee is also grateful to the County Executive Committee in charge of Public Service Management and all the staff at the fire station for information supplied to the committee. Madam Speaker, on behalf of the Committee on Governance, Labor and Social Welfare, and pursuant to the Standing Order number 205, it's my pleasant duty to present to the House the committee's report on the statement that was raised by Honorable Fancy on the number and status of firefighting engines and training of personnel to respond to fire disaster. Thank you, Madam Speaker. The report was given on behalf of our chair, who was present, Honorable Francis Terrer. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you so much, Honorable Gabriela, for that response on the statement that was raised. Would like to give this chance to Honorable Fancy to confirm to this House if the response that we've received from the committee is to the satisfaction.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this chance. The report is halfway done because we've been shown that there are fire engines which are not working, but I want to accept that they've done a good work, but halfway, and I will give maybe a chance to them so that they implement what they've written. For example, the fire engines, there's a fire engine which has been mentioned, it's not working, and I've not seen the action plan on the same. And again, I would say this statement I raised some 8-9 months ago. And my question is, how many fire cases which have happened since that time? And is it of any help? Because for sure, we've really waited for this action plan. So urging the governance committee to please pull up your socks so that we can work on this report and give a very elaborate report and a report which can help all of us as Kericho County. Thank you so much, Madam Speaker.
Thank you so much, Honorable Fancy. You've shared your dissatisfaction and also the concern on time that the same report has taken about 8 to 9 months. I think as a house we discussed about that and we agreed that we will be following our commitments on timeline. Before I give to honorable members, I can see Honorable Gabriela, you want to respond to that? We'll open the floor for a few comments. So let me give to Honorable Gabriela first, then we'll proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. First and foremost, I would like to apologize on the delay from my committee. Indeed, the statement was raised in November, and we took a longer time. But we apologize to Honorable Fancy Korir. But on the part that the report is done halfway, you know, reports are done on the guiding principle of the statement that is raised. We don't go beyond. For instance, Madam Speaker, in our report we've captured that there are 3 fire engines. We've captured that one is not working. We've provided for the committee recommendations and things that are supposed to be done. It's not upon the committee to implement, but we've advised the executive committee on public service management. So it's not the mandate of the committee to implement, but the mandate of the executive to implement what we've recommended here, Madam Speaker. So, Madam Speaker, I hereby urge members to support this report coming from although we delayed and we've accepted, we apologized, but we tried our best, Madam Speaker, and I think this was our best to our capability. So unless there is any other issue, can as well be raised. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you so much, Honorable Gabriela. Honorable Rogony. The next will be Honorable Matthew.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for the opportunity to contribute on the same. But first of all, I welcome the pupils from Chebarema Primary. Madam Speaker, I'm also happy because they are here. That is my village, though I come from Sigowet, but my grandfather, I'm sure part of the kids who are there, if I was to introduce myself, they are my people. So welcome. This is a place you learn, and I'm happy because you found time to come and learn from this assembly. When your area member of county assembly is the one presiding over the house. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the statement raised by Honorable Fancy Korir is vital. Madam Speaker, I want to give you an experience. Around 4 days ago, where I stay here in town, a room got fire. And because I was away, when I got a call, I had to call the public service management, the chief officer. Of course, the fire engine, in around 20 minutes, it got to the venue. But then the problem was, the people we stay with had tried their best to put out fire. Madam Speaker, it set me thinking. Because if there was no one around, it means the entire building was going to get. And you know, I stay on the rooftop. Madam Speaker, I thought about it seriously. We have a sub-county called Bureti. So if, for instance, Kapkatet, a shop, gets fire, and the very same fire engine is supposed to travel from Kericho here to Kapkatet, it will not save the situation. So what Honorable Fancy raised should be addressed by the executive the earliest time possible. Because, Madam Speaker, we have issues. Madam Speaker, the other day we went to Parsiele, where fire broke out in a place. We lost 2 lives. Madam Speaker, to date, there is nobody who is trying to even address the whole thing. We need to have fire engines, not this one that we have here, because this one will not even help. It will be helping us around town here. But we need to have, as a county, smaller fire engines located in our various sub-counties. And the budget is not so much, Madam Speaker. So I urge the members, and I want to urge the committee, even as we push the executive to implement the recommendations that you've given here, us who are in the budget committee, let us also, allocate some amount, because fire is a disaster. Madam Speaker, the last, and this one I want to put it to the members here. Anytime we have fire problem, we call on the James Finlay fire engine to come and try and put out fire. That means, Madam Speaker, even the personnel that we have as a county
are not properly trained to respond to fire issues. Madam Speaker, I want to put it to this House that for us to address this matter once and for all, we need to have a proper budget allocation to this department for us to acquire more fire engines. Those ones that are here, I think we need to see if they are going to be properly serviced for them to work and to save people or properties in case of fire. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Ogony, for those strong sentiments on that. Honorable Matthew.
Madam Speaker, I want to take this opportunity also to thank the Committee on Governance, Labor and Social Welfare for what they have done, Madam Speaker. I know that you understand this is the only committee that they have been working hard to ensure that the issue PPC expose was done and cleared. Madam Speaker, this is the only committee also that they are working on our organogram for the public service management, Madam Speaker. For the report that they have given us, I think it is enough evidence that they are working hard, Madam Speaker. And Madam Speaker, I just noted some comments that I want to raise so that next time the committee also should come up with ways of solving or giving direction to the department also as well to handle it. Madam Speaker, in the letter, I think Vice Chair Governance, she was not able even to tell us that on 17th of November 2022, they received a letter from Public Service Management, a statement raised on the floor of the House concerning the number of the fire engines in Kericho County government. And in this letter, the department indicated that they have only 2. But in the report, the committee has just stated that they have 3. And in this, Madam Speaker, it is very shocking that a machine that was bought 18 years, that is KW 798, is functional. But we have a machine that was just procured in 2021 by municipal board, which is not functional. So this one, Madam Speaker, we need to take an action, especially for the committee. I think you will extend your work of oversight and ask the department to give us the reason why that the machine that was procured just 1 year down the line is not functional. And this one, it has a capacity of 10,000 liters as well, like that one of the 35 CG040A. So, Madam Speaker, I want to thank the committee for giving us this good report. The only thing that we need to do also as the committee on budget is to ensure that this department also get adequate resources so that when we ask question here, also the department has the capacity to deliver on issues, emergencies, on issue fire, Madam Speaker. So I want to thank the committee. From my end, Madam Speaker, this is a very excellent report. And Vice Chair, with your committee, if I could have been having the capacity, I could have taken you for a dinner for doing this. This is a first report being submitted by the department or the Committee on Labor. Thank you so much, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Matthew. Though you're not honest in your...
Madam Speaker, I'm really honest. One is that they have been struggling as the committee. One, to handle the issue of the PPC exposure. 2, organogram. And also, you understand the committee, the capacity of the committee. So with giving us this report, this is a very good trial, Madam Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Matthew, for for that. I'm seeing Honorable Monica or Gladys. All right, welcome, welcome. Then we have
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to also support the motion or the statement that was raised by Honorable Fancy. I want to say that this is a very sensitive issue in our county. And I would like to thank the committee for coming up with the report. This takes me back to somewhere last year when you experienced a fire accident around Tenduet Market, and we lost 2 lives. Every time we pass by that place, it reminds us of the lives that we lost. Despite losing property, we lost 2 lives, young boys, Form 1 and Form 2 students. And I would like to request the executive that they up this game, because when we say that fire engines lack water, they lack staff, becomes something which is awkward. And I would like to urge them that they improve on the same so that our residents get services whenever emergencies arise. Otherwise, thank you for the opportunity, and I say thank you.
Thank you so much for your contribution. I had requested that we do a few, I'm seeing this is attracting a lot of hands, but we'll keep going a few minutes. I'll go for Honorable Noella. Then we come back to Kapsusir. We have Honorable Edna. We have Honorable Kibet. Then Fancy, you will finalize on that.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I stand here to support the report from the committee, being a member of the committee. And also, I will urge the Noble House, the Committee of the Budget, to avail the resources, and also the Committee of Implementation to make sure that all our recommendations are implemented. Thank you.
Thank you. Kapsusir.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Speaker, let me congratulate the team for coming up with such a good report. And I think, Madam Speaker, we should not be taking this thing for granted. These are some of the things which are supposed to be implemented, take an action. Because I was seeing in the report, as per the committee, that we have 3 vehicles with 1 driver. I don't think that we are serious enough in this county, because having the 3 machines, even the other machine is not working, but we don't have the personnel to operate that machine. So I think the department, they have to up their game in the executive. As much as we have these resources, let also these resources be effective and assist us in this county. So I was so shocked when we have 12 staffs and only 1 driver with 3 machines that we have. It's so unfortunate. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member, for that contribution. I hope the committee is taking notes of some of these contributions. We'll go to Honorable Edna.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. Also to thank the Committee on Labor, Governance, Labor and Social Welfare for coming up with these reports, despite the fact that there was a lot of delays. But we also thank you for the good work that you have done. So I stand here to support this report and maybe to support the implementation of this report, because me personally, I see there is a lot of issues in this Department of Public Service. So you find a lot of recommendations that have been made here is that there is almost maybe working staffs are 12 and maybe one driver, and even the machines itself is not functional. Some of the machines are not working. And maybe personally, latest problem that we had in our area, Cheptinya Secondary School, the time when Cheptinya caught fire, I realized that these people are not working seriously, because they came to the school when the two dormitories already are down. And you see, what the public was saying is that the personnel are truncated in the evening, and they are not even loading water. So you find they are just sleeping and enjoying the salary, but they are not seriously working for the county government of Kericho. So for sure, me, I would not even support these people, but we request for implementation and more fact-finding, so that if these people are not seriously working, we wipe away and do another new recruitment. That is my, thank you very much. And maybe before I sit, let me just thank our pupils from Chemosot, Chebarema, because maybe I'll not get another opportunity to stand before them. Thank you for coming to this County Assembly of Kericho. And I believe you got, the assembly is in session and you have enjoyed what is taking place at this moment. You have learned a lot. And this is the House of Legislation, Oversight, and Representation. And if you will also get another, I think you will also be given another opportunity to be briefed on what is going on here, and you will learn a lot. Thank you very much. My name is Honorable Edna Chanui. I'm coming from Waldai Ward, Elkut Sub-County. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Edna. This comes to Honorable Kibet from Cheblanget Ward.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And maybe before I proceed, I want to welcome my in-laws. I'm speculating that my second wife will be coming from Chebarema. So let me take this opportunity to welcome my in-laws. Madam Speaker, I want to congratulate in a very special way the Committee on Governance, Labor and Social Welfare for the watertight report. And just like what my colleague Honorable Gabriela have said, that's not their duty or responsibility to implement, but again, it's their duty to summon the CEC to respond on some of the urgent issues. And I want to reiterate on what Honorable Rogan have just said, that these far points should be everywhere in our sub-counties. My question, of which I'm asking Honorable Gabriela to maybe ask the CEC concern or CO concern, is the machine, that's point number 6, that machine takes about 8 minutes to fill the pressure to the truck. So my question is, how many minutes it should take for the truck to be filled? Or is it supposed to be 8 or less? Is the problem in the department, or is just the normal time taken by the machine to be filled? And maybe last but not least, I would like to thank the Honorable Governor, His Excellency the Governor, for the positions recently advertised, because he has created position of the fire officer 2, inspector, fireman 2, and a driver, of which it will fill the positions recommended by the committee. And where I got a problem to understand is, who are these staff if there is no mechanic to maintain the fire engines? So thank you, Madam Speaker. And when you come, ladies and gentlemen in the visitors chamber, greet your parents. Milari Kibet Posbin, MCH Blanket Water. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Honorable Hillary. We come to the end. Honorable Fancy, you still have some comment. I think you'll be the last person.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me another chance. And before I continue, let me welcome the pupils from our neighborhood, Chebarema. Welcome to this house. It's a house of rules and procedures. And Madam Speaker, I just wanted to make the committee work hard, extra hard. And my last sentiment is that I wanted them to give us maybe a county disaster management bill, which should be done in this house. And I think it will come as a form of motion, then bill, then act, so that in the near future, we should not be having all these problems. I remember when we had an accident in Londiani, we do not have the disaster management. And we got into a lot of problems because for sure there were no emergency response team to act on the same. And I think it is high chance for us, Kericho County, to do the same. Remember when we go to Devolution Conference, we found the Makueni showcasing a very good fire engine with fire drill, with fire people who've been trained and they are well dressed. They had everything what it takes for you to go and fight the fire. And I thought we learned from them. So I thank the county, I thank the governance committee for the report, but please request for the training and capacity building for these fire marshals. Remember, we've said we need fire marshals from each and every county, sub-county, and we have only 12 personnel. Now tell me if these people are going to work around the 24 hours clock, because for sure you cannot call the fire and say, wait until I come in the morning to come and fight you. We need enough fire marshals. And if we were to give to every sub-county, then we have enough people who are trained already. And that was just my concern. Thank you so much, Madam Speaker.
Thank you so much, honorable members, and to the committee for that engagement, and thank you, members, for your contributions. Hopefully this will bring a change to the concern on the fire engines and all that is needed to be done. This marks the end of this session, and the session remains adjourned until next week, Tuesday, 9:30 a.m.